The transfer window might be over, but Arsenal's season is far from. So as Mikel Arteta looks to deliver our 14th league title, it's crunch time. So today we'll find out how close is Gabriel Jesus to making his Arsenal return, discuss the breaking news from David Ornstein, find out which Arsenal star is outshining Messi and Mbappe, as well as all the latest team news as Arsenal take on Sean Dyche's Everton. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boys channel. I hope you guys are doing sensational as always. The transfer window might be closed, but the Arsenal news is coming thick and fast. So as per, smash a like if you enjoy the content, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and help your boy as we close into 150,000 subscribers. But let's get straight into the latest Arsenal news and a breaking development in the future of Gabriel Martinelli. The Arsenal Brazilian star boy, he scored goals, he's got assists. And at 21 years of age, it was imperative that Arsenal secured his future, and now David Ornstein has confirmed. Gabriel Martinelli has now committed his future to Arsenal by signing a new 4.5-year contract. Previous terms were expiring in 2024. Arsenal had an option to extend by 2 years, and the fresh and improved deal keeps the Brazilian winger at the Emirates Stadium until 2027. And as Fabrizio Romano says, Arsenal also retain an option to extend the contract by a further year. So essentially Arsenal could secure the future of Martinelli to June 2028. A long time for now. It's a massive contract. Martinelli will get a massive wage increase, and more than deserved. His development under Mikel Arteta has been crazy, and the fact that he's so fine-tuned at this young age. Mikel has a track record of coaching top wide forwards, the work of Raheem Sterling, Leroy Sané at Man City, and after securing the future of Gabriel Martinelli, next up is Bukayo Saka. Now let's talk about the loan transfer of Albert Sambi Lokonga, who secured a deadline day loan transfer to Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace. Lokonga says it was not easy to leave Arsenal because you can see that they are top of the league, but for me the important thing was the confidence of Patrick Vieira, and Fabrizio confirms the loan deal does not include any option to buy. I believe this loan is perfect. Patrick Vieira was an all-time great midfielder, and Arsenal fans know that more than anyone, but it's more his coaching ability. The team that he's formed at Crystal Palace is a duel-winning machine. They are a tough battle, and every time Arsenal have gone there, Arsenal fans have seen that. So working alongside Albert Sambi Lokonga, the next step is developing his off-the-ball awareness. Sami's a player that's heavily reliant on confidence, something that he was never going to gain sitting on the Arsenal bench, but starting for a team like Crystal Palace, this could be the perfect step to unlocking Sami's potential. Talking of loan players, let's talk Nuno Tavares, who's enjoying a very good season at Marseille. 5 goals from left wing back, and in his last game he unleashed his inner Lionel Messi, dribbling inside past player after player and getting one of the assists of the season. The heat map of Nuno Tavares is telling. He's all over the left hand side. A left back, a left wing back, and a left wide forward. At Marseille, he's developing his forward game, but in terms of defensively, I still do have my concerns. We do have Zinchenko, we do have Tierney, but the least this loan spell has done is increase the value of Tavares. That if Arsenal want to sell the player now, Arsenal can demand a very hefty fee. But then you have the star Arsenal loanee. Say hello to Folarin Balogun. Days after scoring a last-minute equaliser against Paris Saint-Germain, he was at it once again for Reims, this time scoring a hat-trick. One from the penalty spot, one was a poacher's goal, and the third one was a beauty. A ball over the top and a first-time volley into the bottom right-hand corner. Folarin Balogun is simply on fire. With 14 goals, Balogun is now the highest goal scorer in all of Ligue 1, above the likes of Kylian Mbappe, Neymar, and Lionel Messi. And it's not just Ligue 1. Balogun is a joint third highest goal scorer in all of Europe, only behind Harry Kane and the robot that is Erling Haaland. A goal-scoring machine in his first ever season of top European football. His overall performance was also fantastic. 38 touches, 11 shots, 16 out of 20 passes, 1 dribble, 2 ground duels, and 2 aerial duels as well. We have to talk about the 11 shots. What Balogun has is the selfish desire of a top striker, the ability to always find space to fire off a shot. And this guy has been a one-man machine. He has now scored 54% of Reims' entire goals this season, and 14 goals of an XG of 13.6. It's a sign of a top striker in the making. His numbers are electrifying. To do it for a team that is 11th, that don't make a lot of chances. Imagine him in this Arsenal team when you've got the creative outlet of Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard. There have been some rumours that will be teams interested in Folarin Balogun. At Arsenal, he won't be a guaranteed starter, but he has committed his long-term future before to Mikel Arteta. Next season, when Arsenal are potentially in the Champions League and fighting on more fronts than ever, I believe we have to keep Folarin Balogun. And Arsenal could be about to get even more scary, as Gabriel Jesus has risen. After 8 weeks out, he's back on the training ground running. The return of Gabriel Jesus is getting closer and closer, and I believe in the next month, all depending on how his knee reacts, we could see the return of the Arsenal number 9. But then Mikel Arteta has a massive dilemma. Once Jesus is fit and available, what happens to Eddie Nketiah, who's scoring goals? His link-up play has been fantastic, and he's thriving in a tough moment. Does Gabriel Jesus walk straight back into the Arsenal team? But what about next season? Arsenal's centre-forward options are going to be crazy. Eddie Nketiah, Gabriel Jesus and Folarin Balogun, all three under the age of 25, all three that have fantastic potential, and all three that are different profiles. You've got the amazing ability of Jesus to dribble, Eddie Nketiah's ability to be a fantastic poacher, and then a sharp shooter in the making in Folarin Balogun. Out of all three of the strikers, comment down below, who do you believe is going to be our long-term number 9? Now let's talk about a wide forward. On the left side, Arsenal have options, Leandro Trossard, Gabriel Martinelli, but on the right hand side, it's not the same case. Yes, you've got Bukayo Saka, but you've also got Reece Nelson, who's out of contract at the end of the season, and according to Jacob Steenberg, Arsenal are tracking Chelsea winger Callum Hudson-Odoi, 22 years of age and playing on loan at Bayer Leverkusen. He's not had a standout loan spell, having scored 0 goals in the Bundesliga. Hudson-Odoi has never quite been the same player ever since picking up an Achilles injury back in 2018-19. Prior to that, he was seen as the next big thing, a very creative wide forward with good ball striking, but now the forgotten man at Chelsea have signed Mykhailo Mudryk, got Raheem Sterling, they've also signed Noni Madueke, and in the summer Hudson-Odoi will only have 1 year left on his contract. Mikel Arteta may well see potential, but do Arsenal need a development player? Honestly speaking, if Arsenal are going to be in the Champions League, they'll be shopping at a different market. But now let's talk about central midfield. As the Gunner blog has revealed, Arsenal were considering moves to Zubimendi and Edson Alvarez, and they were even willing to trigger the release clause of Zubimendi, but the player did not want to leave mid-season. Among players offered, only Jorginho appealed to Arteta, and this has also been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. Arsenal appreciates Zubimendi. Mikel Arteta likes the profile. A release clause of 60 million euros. This is going to be affordable, but Arsenal have a different main target. Top on the wish list is West Ham United's Declan Rice. According to David Ornstein, the word that I'm hearing from the industry is that 70, 80 and 85 million pounds are a more realistic figure for Declan Rice this summer. Not too far off what Arsenal offered for Moses Caicedo, another player that Arsenal are also looking to sign, but in the case of Declan Rice, this transfer is going to be massive in a different way. In the pursuit of Mykhailo Mudryk and Caicedo, two of Mikel Arteta's most expensive targets, Arsenal weren't able to get them over the line. With a potential return to the Champions League, there is a lot of pressure on Edu Gaspar, and do they have the facilities and the negotiation skills to go and secure the signing of Declan Rice? But moving on to Everton versus Arsenal. Arsenal are back in Premier League action after nearly 2 weeks, and this time we're at Goodison Park. It's first place versus 19th, and Everton are bang out of form, losing the last 4 games in a row and have not won in the league since October. And then you have Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, losing their first game since the return of the World Cup, but in the Premier League are unbeaten since September. But Everton are going to be dangerous, and that is because they have a brand new manager. Sean Dyche has entered the helm, but these guys are in disarray off the field. The fans hate their board. Their owners might be looking to sell. They've just sold Anthony Gordon, and their only real star players have been Jordan Pickford, Amadou Onana, and our ex-boy Alex Iwobi. And they have conceded an XG of 34.2, the second highest in the Premier League. And then you have Arsenal, one of the most potent attacks, the second most goals per game, and also the best away record in the league. With 117, Arsenal have scored more goals against Everton than they have against any other team in Premier League history. But what about the team news? Everton are without the likes of Ben Godfrey and Nathan Patterson, and still have doubts over Andros Townsend, James Garner and Michael Keane. And then you have Arsenal. Mohamed Elneny is out with a long-term injury. Gabriel Jesus is getting closer, but he won't be available. But Arsenal can welcome back Reece Nelson. You also have Emile Smith-Rowe, who was out of the game against Man City, but may also be available. And most importantly, in terms of Thomas Partey, who was taken off against Man City with a rib injury, but reports have since confirmed that after initial tests, the injury was not too serious and he should be available. But up against one of his former teams, how is Mikel Arteta going to line up? I believe it will be the standard 4-3-3 and a goalkeeper of Aaron Ramsdale, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel and Zinchenko as the back four, a midfield of Partey, Xhaka, Ødegaard, and a front three of Gabriel Martinelli, Eddie Nketiah and Bukayo Saka. The standard Arsenal starting 11, everyone's fit, everyone is available, a team that has been unbeaten since the return of the Premier League. But off the bench, Arsenal will have options: Leandro Trossard, Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson, maybe Emile Smith-Rowe, and potentially even our brand new signing Jorginho. In this game, Arsenal will have all of the advantages. There's a reason why Everton are 19th and Arsenal are fighting for the title. Arsenal are the far superior team. And yes, Sean Dyche is dangerous. They might have the new manager bounce. And Arsenal have won 10 and lost just one of their 14 Premier League games against Sean Dyche. And Everton have shown this season, despite being a poor team, they went to the Etihad, they picked up a point. When their team is cohesive, they can be tough to break down. And more importantly, at Goodison Park, Mikel Arteta has not won there so far as a manager. And cast your eyes back to last season. Everton were in awful form and they somehow beat us 2-1. but ultimately we have all the tactical advantages. The defeat against Man City wasn't massive, but Arsenal need to bounce back as soon as possible, because when you're fighting for a Premier League title, games like this has to be a banker. But what are your thoughts going into this game and up against Everton's brand new manager in Sean Dyche? How confident are you, and more importantly, let me know your match day predictions down below in the comments. Moving on to the other Arsenal news today, and starting off with the future of Mohamed Elneny, currently out with a long-term knee injury which could see him out until the end of the season, but soon out of contract. According to The Athletic, Arsenal are considering activating a 1-year option in his contract rather than releasing him partway through his rehabilitation. Arsenal here are being the nice guys. This won't affect our summer transfer window. Arsenal will still go out there and sign midfielders, but in the case of Mohamed Elneny, he may have never been special, but he's always been a good servant, and especially under Mikel Arteta, he has been a useful player. So Arsenal here are trying to help the player out, and they have done similar in the past with Santi Cazorla, a player they understood was never going to play for Arsenal ever again, but despite of that they helped him out and gave him a home so he could return to full fitness. Chelsea's Thiago Silva has been speaking on Jorginho, and he says we have lost one of our great leaders in the locker room, a guy who spoke a lot, but we have to move on. We didn't expect him to leave, but it happened, and we have to make up for his absence in the best possible way. Chelsea may have not been amazing, but Jorginho has been a starter, part of the Champions League winning team, helped Italy win the Euros, and only back in 2021 was he named the UEFA Men's Player of the Year. He may not be Thomas Partey, but what he is a player that's always available. And here's a stat time of the day. Jorginho has only picked up one injury since 2015-16, which saw him miss only 7 days of action. In his 13-year career, Jorginho has only been available for 5 matches. Arsenal now have a very high standard backup number 6, and in terms of squad depth, as you guys can see, the squad is certainly getting there. It's stronger than ever. We have multiple players in every single position, and some of the bench options are looking very decent. Smith-Rowe, Jorginho, Trossard, Tomiyasu, Vieira, Kivior, Tierney, you've got Reece Nelson, Rob Holding, and you also have the returning Gabriel Jesus. Arsenal finally have options off the bench, and more importantly, Arsenal now have finishes for all sorts of different scenarios. If Arsenal are chasing a game, throw on Leandro Trossard, throw in Emil Smith-Rowe. If you need to see a game out, you can throw on Kivior, Tierney, Tomiyasu, call out the emergency back 5 and Rob Holding, and if you're looking to keep the ball, you also now have Jorginho. Is that enough to win the Premier League title? Well, according to Rio Ferdinand, I think it's a wrap. I've got to be honest, I do. No matter what results Arsenal get against Man City, I still think Arsenal have enough confidence, quality and calmness to take the title. A player that has all the experience of many title races believes that Arsenal have what it takes to go out there and win the Premier League title. But for me, it's far from over, and this weekend's gonna be massive, as after Arsenal take on Everton, you've also got a massive game on Sunday as Spurs welcome Man City. And City don't have the best of records at Spurs, and I can't believe I'm saying it, but hopefully if Spurs were to get a result, then it could give Arsenal another advantage in the title race, especially as that massive game gets closer and closer, February the 15th, as Man City come to the Emirates. But anyways, that is the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, go down there and smash a like, and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. Also, if you want to follow your boy on all other social medias, then the links are down below in the description. But that was all of today's latest Arsenal news, and as a massive weekend approaches, Arsenal take on Everton. Can we get the win? Can we bounce back and get some revenge from last season? We're gonna find out, so stay tuned, take care, and in a bit.